Hello and welcome to Nollywood Film Club podcast. I am Mr. C of Eureka Critic. And how are you doing? Yes, I am late. I do apologize. I had technical issues. I wouldn't bore you with it, but there were actual technical issues like in getting the audio of the space this week. I have had to use other means. Um, But yeah, I have finally come through for you though. And it's the rest of the club versus us today. But Mrs. C and I. Some of you that have been hearing us really criticize a movie you love, I felt like you today. One day for the honor in it. Yeah, so today was our whenever we recorded it, last Sunday was our day. But that's the point of this whole conversation. Sometimes it's going to be your turn. Sometimes you will just have to enjoy or endure based on however the people on Film Club say it. But you can always just come and add your voice. You should never be afraid to say exactly how you feel about whatever film you enjoy. You should enjoy whatever film you like, regardless of who doesn't like it, and you shouldn't be forced to enjoy whatever film you don't like. All right. All of that said, please do enjoy Nollywood Film Club discussing Passport. Welcome to Nollywood Film Club. We like to discuss movies every Sunday. Today we're talking Passport. We'll do the good, we'll do the bad. Probably do Pushback today. Depends. We might not. And we will do summary. All right. So
hold on. I like how you said we like to talk about films every Sunday. I feel like at this point,
we like because I said we like to.
You said we like to.
Wow.
We talk about film every Sunday. Hey. Sometimes we like to. Sometimes it's homework. Sometimes it's Stockholm syndrome. Vanessa, it's the Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because I was enjoying my nap. I was deep in the throes of sleep.
Deep in the throes.
And then you guys woke me up. You are chasing me in my dream now. Honestly, this is a spiritual problem for chasing me.
This is good. All right. This okay. It's inside the blood. Anyway, all right. Let's talk about some of the things about passports. All right, Vanessa, do you want to kick us off?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try. Things I liked about Passport. What did I like about Passport? I actually thought of one or two things yesterday and then I forgot completely. What did I like about Passport? Hey, Chineke God. I'm trying to remember the film now. It's hard. It's not as good as the I've Been Thinking About You Bolanle song, but there's a song in this. There's a song in this I think I like ish. It's so bad. The song is not great. It's bad that it's good. That's why I like it. What's the song? Don't you recall the song? There's a song in this.
Yes, I know is the one Jamaica was. Is it the one Jamaica was dancing to in the car?
Yes, the last giddy one. That's what it is. Yeah, the last giddy one. Yeah. That's the one. It's really bad, but it's good. I think the reason why I like it is because he and Judas Kosoko really sold the fact that they thought the song was a good song. Like, that was probably some of the best acting in the entire film was that scene in the car. Because they really sold that they were jamming to the song. Like that song, anybody that played that song that they say they're jamming to that song, you say, "Excuse me, are you crazy?" But they really sold. They really sold.
I'm gonna look for that song. Yeah, like it seemed like a jam. I don't know.
Okay, whatever you say, it just felt like a poor imitation of Lagos Party. But whatever.
No, 100%. It's not incomplete. Definitely, it's not incomplete. It just, Actually, maybe you might be right in terms of just the way,
They sold
it
it. They really
was sold.
sold it. Just felt like, when you're in a car, you guys are playing,
Yes,
jamming to music that you both love. I just really
100%.
like, yeah, I really like that. What else did I like about Passport? I guess I like that it was kind of sort of short, or maybe
Interesting.
that's because I fast forwarded my way through it, but it felt really short. So there's that. Um, hmm, Chineke God. There's, Jehovah, forgive me. There's not a lot to like, man. I'm trying. Um, hey, I genuinely thought of one or two things, and I'm completely.
Okay, well, maybe when
Hopefully, someone says something that sparks something,
all
and
right,
then
we're not in droves today, so
why
at this
why
point
do you
anyway.
think that is?
At this point anyway. But yeah, all right.
Okay, I'm
This is
I'm I'm going to try and go and kind of like fast forward through the film again and see if if there's something that I actually like.
It's not
it's not that deep. Mrs. C, what did you like about Passport?
I'm trying to give you people good enough something for the podcast. I feel a responsibility as I'm the only one here.
Hey,
That's why we love
no,
it.
no, no. Okay, that's kind, but don't didn't do that to yourself. Relax.
If we drop 20-minute podcast, we drop 20-minute podcast.
Right. People have been asking for short podcasts. Hey, so who knows? All right. Okay. Right. To me, it's coming on. To be honest, so who knows? We might be 30 minutes.
25.
All right. To me, what have you seen Passport? What did you like about it? Timmy, are you there? Can you hear us?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm here. Well, okay. Well, the things I liked about sports, if I'm going to be very honest, there really isn't much to say I liked. I liked seeing Emeka on screen. I think that's one. The second one, I don't think it's necessarily a good. It's just someone's commentary that made me laugh. It was talking about that their Oyinbo doctor in UK, and he told me, "Oh, why does this guy look like Johnny Sins?" So that was funny during that moment. I think that's all that I liked about the film.
Jesus.
I just remember something, Timini. Thank you. It has to be. It has to. Sorry,
Wait.
my brain is. I told you I just woke up from a nap. You guys, leave me alone. Thank you, Timmy. It's also about the doctor. I did say to somebody that somebody said something about how the doctor wasn't even white/British, and I said, well, that's very representative of the NHS. The NHS doesn't have Britico doctors. There's quite a lot of diversity in the kind of doctors we have in the NHS. You know, my local GP isn't British. Let's be so. I guess that was accurate representation.
Oh, yeah. There's one more thing that I would say I not like I liked, but I just took notice of. It was when they were doing their I don't know if I'll say local government meeting thing, and on the table, normally when like they call these members of the high table, there's always like chilled bottle of drinks and chivita, bottled water, but instead it was Palermo bitters or is it Pasa bitters or whatever. So I think that was, like I say, conscious and kind of funny at the same time. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna read it. Ebube, another person who has suffered through, well, in her own words, anyway. But she has something her likes. I liked the sound that was playing in the background in that scene when Kopiko took her mother to the hospital. I liked the acting in the car when Jide Kosoko was singing with Jamaica. Oh, look, everybody likes that song. It seems. Oh, three of us anyway. I like that I survived the film. I like seeing Zubi Michael again. Okay. All right.
I like that you survived it too.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. All right. Let's see.
You want me to be the first person to catch this?
Do you want me to? Do you want me to go?
Okay.
I can
How
go
about
first.
you go and then I go? My husband has said it.
Love that for you.
So actually, you want me to go first? I don't mind. I'll go first. Okay, I'll go first. All right. Okay, so
How about we do it together?
get out.
I tapped him this.
Mrs. is shy because.
You know, it sounds like me. I don't have the courage to like what I
why?
like.
Because why are you changing the order of things?
No, I'm not changing the order of things. Let me go. See, y'all didn't see what I saw, right? Y'all clearly did not see what I saw in this film. And the audacity of all of it that gaslit me about Sole to come here and drag passport. Yeah, this one was fun.
Sole was a work of art. How dare you? Especially that third act. How actually dare you?
You know what? The third act redeemed Sole because that was when I realized, oh wait, this film not come on here for reality.
No, but that's on you then. That's a you problem because I think from the very first scene, it proved to us that this film was not based in reality.
Was it from the dildo merchant bit?
I can't
basically, once I saw that my girl was selling fake penises, I just knew that there was nowhere else to go but down. And in a good way.
My mom was when they brought a freaking bow and arrow from nowhere.
The bow and arrow was just spectacle, honestly. Let's be for real. You can't mention Sole and this film in the same place. No.
All right. Let me tell you all about passports. Let me tell you why I like passports. Right? Besides the fact that Mr. Johnson and Jamaica were about 10 years late for their character.
Yeah, when the good.
When the good. You look here. I think if this was 10 years ago, right? Jamaica could have actually been perfect casting, right? Because it's his age that let him down. It's his age that let him down in this room.
Why are you being such a coward? Just say what you like. You're couching so much.
No. All right. Let me see what I like, right? First of all, I like the premise, right? Not the intention. I like the premise, right? Simple premise, simple story. Spoiled rich kid. Spoiled rich kid, right? Loses his passport and has to go on an adventure with somebody from the opposite side of the tracks from him to try and retrieve it. Adventure stories, opposite side of the track. Great. Absolutely love that, right? Really liked the premise. What else? Location, environment, their brown area, right? I thought that was great, right? I really liked the location. When the guy and the babe were running, when Emeka's character and the sister were running, the cameraman was chasing them. By the way, very good job to that cameraman. He risked his neck for that shot. But when he was chasing them through that whole area, I'm like, yes, of course. Some of these areas look kind of familiar. I know I might strike you as a rich posh kid, but these areas look kind of familiar. So I really enjoyed the location. I thought that was good. What else did I enjoy? I like Mercy's backstory as well, right? She's trying to be cheerleader. It's kind of similar to him, right? Is this, we're not too different after all, even though one of us is rich and one of us is poor, right? We both have the same both have a sick mother, right? We're both trying to figure our shit out. They both see us as some sort of fuck up, right? But, we did try, last, and we're just feeling misunderstood, whatever. And we make things work. It was good. And Mercy was funny. Mercy was funny. If you tell me you did not laugh at a dozen fork for me, one dozen fork for me, Mercy was funny. And it was very throwback-ish. It really did feel like our older comedies, right? Like the kind of stuff that Aki and Popo and Osofia and Sam Loco would get into, those kind of shenanigans. And so, yeah, for me, Passport was fun. I did not have to fast forward it. I didn't realize when we were an hour in. We got to an hour, I'm like, oh, we've made it to an hour. I didn't realize we were an hour in. I had a good laugh watching Passport, and I didn't have to think it too much. It did not stress me. I didn't have to reason it. I didn't even have to finish it. We did finish it. But I didn't realize we hadn't finished it because we had to pause to go see Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, I haven't finished it. Because I'm not leaving me hanging with anything, right? I'm not like, oh my God, I need to know what happened. I was just having a chill, good time. So yeah, that's what I like about Passport. Passport was a fun time.
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching Passport. And I guess I'm not too. No, I am a bit surprised by some of the vitriol it's been getting. But hey, this if people don't like it, people don't like it. The numbers it did I was very intrigued by the numbers it did in its cinema run. Like that's not a joke, and like given the somewhat star the stars in it. Messi Johnson isn't somebody who has led a box office hit in a long time. Neither is Jim Ike. So I really was just curious to what this film, I think it did about 78 million or so, right, was going to do. But yeah, I have to admit, I don't know, like, I guess humor is, subjective. You either find Messi Johnson funny or not. I mean, we watched this like 1.5 times or something like that because we watched it ourselves, started watching it ourselves, and then we had to change our location where we went to watch with other people, and we watched it with and when we were watching it with other people, like almost half of the room split. Half of the room basically split. There's some people who really who were getting down with it as well, and some people who just could not, again, just didn't find Messi Johnson funny. But for me, like her, aside finding her funny, I just think it's a very good performance of the character she's playing. She's nailing this character, and like it's not just about saying, some of the outlandish things that come out from her mouth. It's also that she can change from comedic to dramatic, like very convincingly on the drop of a dime. I mean, I was watching this and I was like, I see so much. It reminded me of like when I used to watch films back home with parents and like with the family. This is like Mr. C said, which probably stole from me, is a throwback to old Nollywood where you did used to watch with you watch this thing with like Asofia stuff, and like it's like an adventure. But like this actually has more of a structure than any of those films. It's actually what I would have thought our films would have been like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, because like it takes all of these normal elements that we're used to seeing, but like it adds more structure to it. Because like the thing with old Nollywood is that sometimes it's vibes. It's like a lot of things is doing it so it's funny. This is actually edited. I can't even imagine what editing around a lot of Messi Johnson's ad libs would have been, because the woman was just going off. Like Babe was going off. But like so many funny things she said. Calling this guy low budget James Brown. That Malam front and for Malam Spanish front, spelling back is the same thing. I mean, like there's just bars all over this thing. It's like it's literally, I don't know, like people enjoyed Zubi's You Go Collect Water. Like it, Matthew Johnson spitting like 3 of this per scene. It feels like, to me anyway, it's like just really funny quotables that I think me and Mrs. C will be using for some time. And that's kind of what I like about film. It is when it gets you to these points where you can share all these fun stuff with each other. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to share with a lot of people outside of Mrs. C and a couple of other people. But
that's all you need.
Yeah, even I remember there's a point where this guy was even what's his name? I can't remember his name. the councilman, the council prof, yes, prof. There's a point where he did a laugh, but he's doing it behind the paper. And again, like it's something we've seen in old Nollywood, but the way it's shot, it's just great where you can see the angle where you can see that he's doing it behind the paper, and you can see that Mighty can't see. I thought Mighty was good in it as well. I thought Jim Ike was a good straight man. He falters, sometimes shaky sometimes, but I thought he was generally good. Like Jim Ike can bring actual complex emotions that a bunch of our normal, these are up and coming, are not touching. Mercy Johnson, for me, absolutely killed this. I thought the cinematography in this is actually, so like Missy say again, probably stole it from me. That part where she's, sorry, I keep saying this. That part where they were running away, that's very, again, when old Nollywood used to do that, is usually witches that used to pursue us in the dream, right? I remember that kind of shot, even in Lost to Kurishi, Abba does that kind of running away from kind of thing in the dream. But yeah, where it's you go POV. There's actually good shots in this. You come and talk to me about I start a war. Okay, all right, but like there's actually a lot I like in this. There's again, like for me, the structure it reminds me sort of the other thing that I think comes close to doing this was like an adventure comedy. An adventure comedy is something we don't often have as well, is Kasala. This reminds me of Kasala, and for the good and even some of the bad aspects, it's just it has a decent structure that it just is very easy to follow. I like the mirror thing of both Jamaica and Mercy Johnson's character, and as they progress through, and how it's played on that they need each other. I like that there's actually a legitimate need for them to be together. I just thought the story it's not amazing, but like it's serviceable for exactly what it needs to be. And I guess like maybe if you hate what Mercy Johnson is doing with the comedy, I guess you can't like this because there's a lot of it in there. But I absolutely liked it. And here we go. I don't know anybody who worked on this film. Thank goodness, right? And I thank goodness, because I know nobody would have been like, "Hey, Mr. C, this is your friend. You're bad." I don't nobody who has worked on this, right? I know nobody who has worked on this. So yes, that's my part of what I like. Yeah, surprised it has as much hate as it does. But I really enjoyed this film.
Honestly, at this point, food is like 600 naira a liter. Don't tight your chest too much.
Oh, good. All right. Okay. Let me see. How much did you just came on? All right.
I'm a dudes.
Okay.
I'm feeling quite British, based on
good or bad. Like so.
Why so good?
Okay, we're in the good. Okay. What I like about this film, I think it followed a structure of writing that, even though okay, I don't want to say what bad, but I kind of knew the conflict that would happen, and I was anticipating for that conflict. When I was anticipating for that conflict. It's kind of like it wanted to come off good. The writing was not bad, but even though the comedy, the lines didn't eat a lot. So, but I think it has a decent writing, not like it's bad. I like Mercy Johnson's sister and this yellow guy. I like both of them. I kind of like there was a scene where the guy said, "You take the money and go and use it to take care of your mother." I kind of like that scene. I felt that part. What does I like? I like the girl Jamaica was dating. Her performance was decent. So for a new someone who was new, so her performance was decent. And who else do I like? Do I want to like Mrs. Johnson? I kind of like Mrs. Johnson, but her comedy, they work for me. The comedy didn't kind of aligns the Kowole Beyin. I think I like that part. I like Zubi. Is this Zubi? What, I don't know what they call him. I like Zubi in it, even though that's what he plays all the time. But I like Zubi. Who else do I like? That's all. I think that's all I can remember. And the picture is kind of decent. The editing, I like the color a bit. Like not bad. I think that's all I like about it.
Oh, thank you, Omodudu. I remembered there was even some things like I remember the way they revealed that mom was Miss Johnson and Mighty's mom was sick. No, Kopiko and Mighty. When they actually it was Mighty that discovers mom being sick. I love it that it's like she was trying to sneak out and she made a noise and she was like, but she stopped because she was like, my mother. This would have on any other. I love it. Like it's just simple thing. Like she goes to check up on her mother, despite that she was trying to sneak out. I like that. That's how she discovers that. Oh, this sleep is not normal sleep. I really like little things like that. It's actually the kind of filmmaking that's missing from a lot of big budget stuff. I like stuff like that. But yes, thanks, Amadudu. Ataz.
I thought I had timed it to miss this section, but there was 10 to 15 seconds there of good acting from Mercy Johnson, even though it had no bearing on the movie. Anyways, it's the scene where she's, I think, in the hospital and she's describing to her sister how hard she works. It didn't fit into the conversation. I didn't understand, but it was something. Jide Kosoko looks like he was having a great time, so that was good to watch. He looked like he was just kind of hanging out on set there, drinking, eating. Like he was actually chewing his food. It was so he was. That's it. I'm sorry.
He was chewing his food. I've never heard
I don't know.
I feel like film club is a place to discover the most random. Because in this film club, we've had the good. Oh, there was beauty.
All right. Anyway, but thanks, Ataz. By the way, if you do want to share your things and you don't want to speak, just comment underneath the space or hashtag Nollywood Film Club.
If you're keeping malice with us and you don't want us to hear your voice.
All right. Okay. I think Marshmallows just came on.
Marshmallows.
All right. Please, have you seen, we're generally at the good section where we're saying, what did you like about Passport?
So I watched Passport, I think in January on a flight. So it's maybe not the entire thing isn't as recent, but I did feel when I say the entire thing, like my entire memory of it isn't as recent, but I did think that overall it was a feel-good movie. I enjoyed Mercy Johnson's performance. I thought there were times where she made me laugh. Zubi Michael is another character that I have come to really enjoy. Now, granted, when I watched this one and then I saw the one he did with Chidimo Keme, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank now with the name now, and I realized, okay, he's yes, Shantytown. Mm-hmm. And I thought, he probably seemed like he's always cast to play like this. He's being typecast now. but I'm not yet bored of it. So I also quite enjoyed it. And a lot of the things, he reminds me of a Chinwe Talagu character, the way, we would have him in different movies. And so he was also funny, I think, for me. So the whole idea of it, I mean, I could see where the story was going from the beginning until the end. Like nothing really shocked me or surprised me, but I thought they didn't try to do too much. So it was nice. I did also enjoy Jide Kosoko's character because I thought that he was like a good anchor for Jim Ike. So Jim Ike is supposed to be this Jandon in the story and doesn't really understand the way things work on the streets. And so Jide Kosoko there was like, a nice shepherd, like, taking him through and interpreting things for him. And so I enjoyed the character as well. So those were the three characters that I thought, like, whenever they came up, I was, interested. Overall, the tone of the movie was, like I said, it was fun. I was on a flight and I needed something to just, distract me from the anxiety of being on a plane. So that I appreciated the effort of the whole story and the characters, those characters that brought it to life. So yeah, I think those were the highlights for me entirely.
All right. No, thank you. I was saying that I just keep on remembering. I'm sorry for the people who didn't like this. I just keep on remembering. I really have fond memories of this movie. I just remembered the point where Mercy decked Mighty. I need to stop going between actor and character names. Kopiko decked Mighty in front of Jim Ike to give factory sets. Just. I liked, yeah, it just the absolute chaos. Mercy Johnson, the actor, was causing
As
on set was because like she was ad-libbing slaps, slaps that were not written into the thing she'd pin. Like so, you just never knew. It felt like a vibrant set, and it never for me took away distracted from it didn't feel out of character. It just felt everything that the character could or would do. And like I said, I felt they edited it round to not let her go on for too long for the most part. But yeah, all right. Okay, I think we've all shared some good stuff. I think we can pivot into the things we didn't like. And Vanessa, you can kick us off.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Unc. Oh, God. If I heard Jim Ike say Unc 600 more times in that film, I would have took somebody in their eyes. Honk. Adriano, which Isaac was Jim Ike supposed to be doing? Honestly, I'm sorry. This is kind of sort of supposed to be my good because I just appreciate the lack of commitment to a specific accent.
Actually, wait, hang on. You might not know this because you skipped through, but he studied in America.
Oh, he did?
Wow.
Wow. They gave us reason for it.
They added that.
Wow.
They
I
added
didn't know.
to drop the American accent, so they wrote it into the script.
I'm so sorry that I didn't pay that much attention to realize that there was a reason for whatever accent he was doing. Even though regardless of his tail, does that sound like an American accent to you? You should please, I beg. Okay, what else didn't I like? The entirety of it. I'm sorry. I love how Mrs. C is able to gloss over the fact that these people are supposed to be in their 20s. Like, are you people for real? Like, you people need to actually be so for real. Like, I'm supposed to believe that Jim Ike, mind you, I love me some Jim Ike. Honestly, that's one of my favorite people from Nollywood, at least from his era in Nollywood. And for you people to tell me that I'm supposed to be believing that this is a 20-something-year-old man, I'm so sorry. Jim, I gave the worst performance of anybody in that film. I was like, wow, is this really what's going on? And all the people that are here praising Messi, Emo Binu, I didn't enjoy the performance. To be quite frank with you, I was done with this kind of Mercy since when she did Heart of a Fighter. And mind you, I loved Heart of a Fighter. I watched Heart of a Fighter like 500 and something times. In fact, I watched Heart of a Fighter in 2020. I went to go and look for it on YouTube. But I have been done with that kind of Mercy since Heart of a Fighter. Because after that, we got a barrage of this characterization that she does when she's giving these supposedly street smart characters, from Dumebi to Dumebi the dirty girl to another somebody to my multiple people. There was this other foolish one. I don't even know it. No.
I don't. I'm with you on that. Actually, I liked Heart of a Fighter, and I was like, "Oh, that's new. That Mercy Johnson
That
has
new
changed."
Mercy, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why I liked it.
and then Dumebi, I really didn't like Dumebi. Is it Dumebi the dirty girl?
There was Dumebi, and then there was Dumebi the dirty girl.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of. I didn't like a lot of the subsequent stuff,
That's my
but
thing. I'm sure you
do
like this for all the reasons you've espoused in the good,
Mhm.
but no. Moving on to somebody who has been giving me more of the same, and honestly, this is no fault of his, because I actually believe that Zubi Michael can do different things and can do them well if he's only given the chance to do so. I'm genuinely done. I've been done with this Zubi Michael street stout, you go collect water guy from Ahana, the rattlesnake retelling. I've been done.
Was it that?
He was there. He's supposed to be there, in there among one of the gang.
I don't remember him at all. Maybe I did. Yeah,
he's supposed to be
It's the
there.
same character.
Even if you know
You've seen him so many times, it's forgettable.
Literally. I'm so sorry. And the fact that
yeah, definitely.
I guess the only thing that's different about this is that unlike all the other ones where he's the lackey, I guess he's the boss in this one. So, woo, congratulations. You're like, I've been done. I've been done. I'm sorry. I get that we love the good old Nollywood nostalgia of certain characters being certain things, and we associate them with this. But the fact that Marshmallow said the fact that Marshmallow referred to Zubi as a character, that's all. That's all that needs to be said, because this is a human being who is supposed to be separate from the characters that he has played. But due to Nollywood, they've given him water. Now, all we can associate Zubi with is this type of Edo. I'm begging God. Why couldn't Zubi have been a guy, a secretary man that do speak English? Even if they wanted him to be in that film, must he be street gang guy? Why? In fact, why is Zubi not the America guy? Let's throw the bucket out of the window. Why was Zubi not Jim Ike's character? Honestly, I genuinely would have probably had a lot more fun if Zubi played the America guy looking for passports. It would have been entirely a lot more fun. I love Jim and Messi, but they need to hang up the boots on these characters. At your age, for goodness sakes. At your bloody age. I'm sorry, I'm not ageist, but this is unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. See, I was like, what is this? What is good? Mind you, I forgot about accents. That accent that is supposedly in the UK. So you people really believe where the accent do come from UK? The accent on the phone. The accent do come from UK. You people were not thrown out of the entirety of you people's enjoyment of this film by that UK accent.
Right.
Stop you.
You people should please. I was like, what's going on? And I'm sorry, it is that the accent was bad, it's good. The auntie could not now act. So not only are you giving us bad accent, you are giving us bad acting. You have to pick one. You can't do two.
If Jim Mike did
Everybody
not have to
one.
pick one, why does she? This is
But that's because he's
sexism.
Jim Ike. That's because he's
Sexism.
Jim Ike. That's because he's Jim Ike. Everybody wants. She went to go and take 2. Why? See, this film, as you can see, I have nothing of substance to say because this film has nothing of substance to offer. Absolutely nothing. Because even the passport that they are running up and down for. So all the hula baloo that we are hula balooing from the morning to the night, only for him to come, I didn't go again. I thought mommy was sick. Why didn't you go again? So you don't care about your own sick mother. Granted, she's under the loving hands of the NHS. Is it that you don't care about your own sick mother and only care about messages, them sick mother, that you will stay there in that raggedy, ugly ass t-shirt that he was wearing in the final scene? You should please. There was no point to this. In fact, what am I saying? The minute I knew that this film was going to hell in a handbasket was from that opening club scene. From that opening club scene, Monipe Morogo, I've entered. I've really entered. Because not to, because those boys are my regular YouTube guys. I do watch them on the YouTube. But not to throw shade on the actors with him in that scene. Because I love watching them on YouTube. But that's because I understand YouTube level of Nollywood acting. But for this, to be the people in the scene with him talking about him not having money in the club, haba. The acting in that was painful. It was painful. I was like, wow, is this really what I'm going to be in for? Really? These are the people that are starting off this cinematic experience for me. From my beginning, I realized that this film, you don't have head, you don't have tail, you don't have points, you don't have something of substance to offer me. That's why I was fast forwarding. I'm sorry, because I couldn't. I was getting I suffer from strong, severe cases of secondhand embarrassment. And it was like an allergic reaction. I was going through it while watching this film because I was like, hi, haba. Also, Mighty is a lovely young lady, beautiful girl. I don't know what they turned her to. I didn't understand the purpose of her appearance. Even Emeka Nwagbaraocha, who can actually act, I don't know what he was doing inside the film. So really, the whole point of this whole tirade is I don't know, because because nothing was making sense. You should please, Daku, I don't want to be watching films that don't have head. You should please.
This
I
was
beg
quite
you,
a
this
few
time
times.
I will sleep next week and I won't wake up in time for film club.
But next week is sister.
In fact, more reason why I won't wake up, because I don't have energy for sister, to be honest. If you should please. I love me Biodun Stevens, but I don't have the energy because I have my own personal trauma that I'm dealing with, and I'm not about to hash that out on film club.
Okay. So Vanessa did not like the passports from what I've gathered. Okay, all right. Just pointing out there, I liked most of the acting. One of the things I don't like. One of the things I didn't actually like. It's funny that people mention is Jide Kosoko's acting. I didn't like him. He was the one that was clearly struggling with lines. Too many stuttering of lines, but he wasn't that important to the film, so it didn't bother me too much. All right, I think it's Timmy. Timmy is next.
Hey, just like Vanessa said, we're in the bad year, ba.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Just like Vanessa said, from the club scene, I knew I wasn't really going to like the film because from, will I say, trauma with other Nollywood films that have those kind of club scenes, I had a feeling that the film was not going to be my cup of tea, and I wasn't wrong. And another thing that pissed me off was, I know, yes, the whole issue about audio in Nollywood has been overflowed, but this one was in a way that, so normally, yeah, if like I'm watching something on TV, let's say like a volume of 15, it's enough. I should be able to hear what they're saying at the volume of 15. But for some weird reason, I found myself having to put the volume at like 80 90 just to hear what they were saying. So I'm like, how exactly did they capture the dialogue on set? Or was it the way they mixed the audio during post-production? Or what exactly happened in that area that made the dialogue so difficult to hear? But that's just one thing. Another thing is the location that they said was UK, that those people with their Miri accents were. You can't tell me that's UK. You can't tell me that's UK. I don't know how UK bedrooms look like, but that bedroom was looking very Nigerian coded. Very, very Nigerian coded. I understand that, yes, flying abroad just to shoot one scene or two, it's not a reasonable decision, but at least they could have put some sort of something, I don't know, set design or something that would give off UK, not Lekki, not but I'm not like I'm trying to say you can't find that type of bedroom in the UK. I don't know what UK bedrooms look like, but that bedroom was very, very Nigerian coded. The accent that the mother and the sister were giving was not given. And that's another thing that I would even like to talk about regarding their entire family thing. Because so we have an idea that the sister lives in the UK, the mom and sister lives in the UK, and Jim Ike also lives in the UK, but he has a girlfriend in Nigeria. Okay, maybe they're doing long distance. I don't know. The film doesn't say. But tell me why Jim Ike, who thinks it makes sense to spend 4 million at a club, thinks it makes sense for him to travel all the way to Nigeria, invite his friends, spend money that he doesn't have at the club. All that money, you could have used it to just get your girlfriend a ticket and visa to come and see you in the UK. Instead of you doing the whole, like, if the girlfriend had come to the UK, maybe, I mean, yes, I think that the girlfriend's attitude towards the proposal was a bit disgusting. But maybe if he had brought her to the UK, maybe she would have been, better receptive of the proposal. Because it literally just, it does not make sense. You will buy return tickets to and fro. You spent 4 million in club. All that money. And please. What happened? What else did I not like? Okay, I did not like Jim Mike or the character of Oscar in this. It was very irritating and just very. Okay, so I kind of get it that the point was for him to be a rich, spoilt human being who does not have respect for other people. But I don't know. Maybe it's the way Jim Mike presented the character, but it was just very unbearable to hear the type of things he was saying, especially to Kobiko Abi Koboko, or what was that her name? Mercy Johnson's character. I was like, I mean, okay, like there was, Sha. Okay, another thing was regarding the end. So, okay, Jim Mike has already gotten the bag. See, hey, this thing, God of mercy. Okay, first of all, they told Jim Ike that the passport was not in the bag. Yeah. This guy, he did not want to hear. He said he wanted to.
Who told Jim Mike the passport was back at what point?
Emeka's character, Toby.
No.
He told him that he did not see any passport.
No. He was like, it wasn't. Yeah. It's like they didn't look inside. They didn't check, right? I think it's the concept. It's not like your passport is not there. We didn't see your passport. We assume it's inside the bag. If it was there, it's there, kind of thing, right?
Because where else would it be?
Yeah, because where else would it be?
Oh wait, I thought.
Well, I mean, they did go through it.
What's her
Sorry,
name?
but they did go through it. Maybe they emptied the bag and they said they didn't see anyone in that. They were upset.
Yeah.
The only thing they saw was money. So it seems like their brain is not all right.
You later saw the passport somewhere on the floor.
Right,
Yeah,
but they were
yeah.
it was still when they were going. It was just after she'd gone. I don't know this guy, right? So it's still in this denial phase. Emeka's character was trying to raise his hand, but then he was too shy to actually say anything, and they sent him home.
No, but didn't Mighty tell Jim Ike that she'd not see any passport?
Yes, and Mighty also asked him to go and snap new ones for 200 naira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because she was referring to a different passport.
Yes.
Yeah, the what I got from that was Mighty was just like trying to just go away. It was more like, look, what has been done, leave me alone. Go sort it out somewhere else. It wasn't even a genuine attempt at trying to answer his question.
I get it. But basically, where I was driving out was this: okay, Jim Mike has gone to Terminator to go and get his bag, all right. But then, what I don't understand, maybe I also missed something, but what I don't understand is how, at the end of the day, they knew that the passport was with Terminator, because he got the bag, he did not see the passport there, and just, will I say, 20 minutes later, they're like, oh, they want to go back to Terminator to get the passport. How did he know that the passport was going to be with Terminator when he didn't find it in the bag in the first place? I don't know if I'm making sense.
He didn't search the bag. They've given the bag to Terminator when he saw the Mighty and his friend. They've given the bag to that man who gave it to the Zubi. So they were still thinking the passport was inside the bag.
Yeah, and his other things were not in the bag. It was the phones, because Terminator had turned it into the phone.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, another thing is regarding the emotional connection thing that they wanted to force at the end. So I feel like, okay, maybe what they were trying to do was that Oscar is a bad character, he's spoiled, he's this, and at the end he learns that, oh, I can actually be a good person, this, da. But that felt very forced, and the way they tried to do it in, like, will I say 10, 15, 20 minutes, it did not click with me, because I feel like that was supposed to be the point of the whole film, us watching. But see, okay, when I read the synopsis of this thing, I was expecting adventure with what's her name, Bessie Johnson. Adventure type of thing, chase type of thing. They're trying to get the passport type of thing, and along that journey, he becomes a better person. Throughout majority of the film, Oscar was a very, very unbearable character. He was, and regarding that, his character, I feel like that character could have been better played by Timini. I think it might be typecasting, but I would rather watch Timini play that character than Jim Ike. Maybe if Timini had played the character, maybe the words he said wouldn't have come off as condescending. But for some weird reason, Jim Ike saying those words in that moment, it just made me mad. Yeah. Also, yeah, another thing I also don't understand was at the end when was it Professor was saying, oh, the people are supporting what's her name, Kubuku Abi Kini, for chairman, this thing. I was confused because I do remember that at the beginning of the film they did say that they didn't want her to run for, but then at the end of the film, they were saying that, oh, about Terminator being the virus in the film, this, da. Did something happen to Terminator that made them change their minds? Or did Terminator die? Or did Terminator run away? Or why did they go all of a sudden from you're a woman and you're seeing men around you to we support you? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Another,
actually, that same question. I actually had the same feeling as you did to me. Mr. C did say that he ran away, right?
Terminator's boys ran away
because like he shot someone, and he doesn't want police wahala for shooting someone.
is that the first time Terminator would have really shot someone?
It seemed like it seemed like it's like the first time when they shoot a gun and everybody runs, it feels like everything they've been doing has been through bravado and like grab
actual
versus actual thing. Yeah, I mean, I got that from the thing, but yes, but no, I did get your. I don't think that part was done all that well. That's because I had the same thing as well.
Another thing, Mr. C, you were trying to compare, let's say compare, but we are bringing Kasala into this, and I feel like Kasala and this film don't belong in the same sentence because unless you want to use it,
Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this?
No, wait, no. I understand the, will I say, where you're coming from. I understand the intention. It's just Kasala is a work of art. This is, I don't know. I would say it's a messy attempt at what it was supposed to be, but anyway, another thing
very messy. Kasala is very messy. Kasala's production is worse than this by comfortably worse than Kasala's production is all over the place, and I love that movie, right? But because like the story and the heart and the voice and the adventure and stuff, yes, Kasala is the story is tighter. The structure it's the story is tighter, and but you're saying exactly. I'm not saying they're the same thing. I'm saying but they are both comedy adventures set in sort of like low income areas, and I found both of them funny and entertaining. That's why they're in the same sentence for me.
Okay. But okay, another thing is at the end of the film when Oscar wanted to fly Mercy Johnson out, I also didn't understand that because he did not have 500K to pay for his bag, and now he wants to fly Mercy Johnson out. Like I said, he could have literally done that. Besides, also, what happened to his relationship at the end of the day? Because they just, this film really wouldn't have happened if he just flew his girlfriend to the UK instead of him coming down to Nigeria. But, what else? The last thing I'll say is I absolutely hated Dimeji Latif's character in this. This guy, like, why does he collect roles like this, for God's sake? I mean, I get it, you're trying to get the bag, but you're bigger than this, you're better than this. Like, they're supposed to. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much all I'll say.
All right, thanks to me. Let's get through some. We've got a long list of people to hate on this movie. We've got to keep it pushing. All right. I think the Omar Juju. Please go on.
Okay. What do I hate about Passport? I'm sorry. Comparing Passport and Kasala, I think I don't really like Kasala like that. They are quite like the same thing because I watched this movie. I was doing something else, and this movie was playing in the background. And whenever I had anything, I would just go and come to the living room and check whoever was talking or whatever was happening, and I would go back to what I was doing. Actually, so
wait, sorry, Omar, did you change the way you're talking to us now? Because you're
okay. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. So let me talk about Jamal playing a 30-year-old man. That is very awful. I couldn't believe it because the way he looked and everything, I was like, no, this guy, I won't believe this guy's a 30-year-old man. So and the accent, well, I don't really care about the accent, but his mother speaking that accent, because if the mother grew up in Nigeria and Jide Kosoko was his mother's brother, was his maternal uncle, his uncle. So why is she speaking like that? Like someone who grew up in Nigeria for a long time and you went to the UK and you're already speaking that kind of accent. I think they could have allowed her to speak, you know, the Nigerian, speak like a Nigerian. And the accent from the sister and the time and whenever he's saying hi, the sister, I think whenever he greets her, she's always saying, "Don't talk to me like that." I'm like, oh, why does that? Why is she saying that? Maybe I'm the one who didn't get that part. Because she's always saying, "Don't talk to me like that." Whenever she, she picks his call. So Mercy Johnson, let me talk about Mercy Johnson. I think her dialogue was too much. Like she had a lot, she was repeating lines and she was saying a lot, and the punchline wasn't there. I didn't enjoy the comedy, and I was thrown off. So our lines and most of the things the other characters were even saying these are things we had before. You give wuto, all those kind of things. This guy playing himself again. Let's see you playing himself again. Things they've seen in other movies. I think the lines were not funny. And starting with the conflict between Messenger Johnson and Zubi, I don't know why they didn't do anything. They didn't, use that. Even though I knew they were going to, go head to head, but I don't know why they didn't use that political ambition. They didn't use it in the movie towards the end, and it. I was like, okay, what was that scene for? And I didn't take Messi seriously. I don't think that kind of person would be. I don't know how they wanted to present her. Maybe they wanted to present her like a clown, But I would never take her seriously as someone who is trying to do anything in an office. Do you understand me? I would never take her seriously because after seeing that she was at the bar drunk, saying nonsense, and I was like, okay, well, what was the point of that part? We've seen it in the Tailors Association, this movie about tailors, and why are they doing this in this movie too? So, what else do I eat? Okay, this movie they rushed I think it's dragged a lot, and the third act was rushed. Maybe the second half of the second act and the third act was rushed, and a lot of things. I was like, that shooting Messi. I was like, okay, why do we have to do that again? So we have many people, sick people playing, about to die. I wanted them to have. I wanted Jim, Mike, and Messi's characters. Both of them, they should have like a moment. They should have this adventure ride that they could share their problems. Both of them, they have sick mothers. They could like, okay, I don't want to lose my mother. You don't want to lose your mother. They could, they could learn from each other. They could, do a lot of. They could explore that part, but it was just everything was just chaos, like no structure, nothing. And the when this guy when Emeka found the passport and he was taking it back to to Zubi's character, I was like, okay, why would you do that? Why didn't he take it to Messi since he knew that they were looking for that passport? And it could fetch them some money. So why didn't he take it to Messi? So why was he taking it to that guy? So I think that part, maybe I'm the one who didn't understand. And then, okay, I've talked about the shooting part, that scene, the fight off between Zubi and Jim Mike. Why, if you pushed Zubi, why would his friends, why would they, go rush after him to go and carry him instead of attacking Jim Mike? That part didn't make any sense, and was able to leave that place. You know, I think the writing could be better. The writing is the issue because it was not really a bad writing because most times when I have Nollywood movies I just play speed of 1.5, but this movie I didn't play speed of 1.5. I was doing what I was doing and I was listening from the living room, and I really wanted to see what's going to happen next, but it wasn't great. It was just there. The writing could have been better, and the movie could have explored some themes, some moments between the characters, and that's all I have to say.
All right. No, thanks so much, Jujuri. Feel free to keep the comments rolling. I'm just going to read a couple more. Everybody says a no. No. Sully was bearable. Just inside middle we lost. This one lost us from scene to the end, probably beginning to the end. And Ada agrees. At least I finished that one. Okay, all right. Where are we? I think it's a task, right? A task. Atas, are you there?
Yeah. I mean, everyone has kind of said everything. There isn't a lot to criticize about this movie because there isn't a lot in this movie in the first place. But I will just recap. His wealth was inconsistent. Sometimes he was really wealthy, other times he was really poor. And it seemed to go depending on where the movie needed him to be at that point in time. There wasn't really any sound reasoning for it. There were a lot of colorful accents in this movie. Lots of different countries represented here. So that happened. I did not get Mrs. Johnson's character. It seemed like they tried to make her not a caricature by giving her some emotional, I guess, emotional background there. She's a little bit sensitive. She talks about her feelings being hurt a lot. She cries there in the hospital with her sister, and I don't. It just, I don't know. It felt really inconsistent as a character. I feel like Messi is messy, and she's funny, and she's obviously good at these roles, or was, I don't know, but this character just did not work for her at all. And also there was just so much typecasting in this movie, and there were too many stars all trying to shine. I actually forgot Latif was in this movie, but I remembered now as someone was saying it. And he was acting a very familiar character. Zubi was acting a very familiar character. Mercy was acting a very familiar character. Jim Ike was acting a very familiar character, actually. Yeah, and the worst thing about this movie were all the leads. Every single lead should not have happened. I think this movie would have been funnier maybe if we had newer people and newer characters. And it just didn't feel like the same thing you have watched 30 times with no head and no tail. I don't know. The writing didn't work. Set design didn't work. The plot didn't work. The characters didn't work. The accents didn't work. There were no beautiful gowns. Zubi was hot, but I mean, that's it.
All right. Thanks, Atas. Marshmallows. Things you did not like, if you remember.
Yes. Things I didn't like. Well, I think a lot of it has been said, so I'll try not to repeat the points again. So one thing, first of all, I did not like Jim Ike in this movie at all, which was sad because I tend to enjoy him sometimes in some movies. I remember watching and thinking, maybe if Mike Ezrone, with that cast Mike Ezrone here, it might have been different. If they're trying to go for like, that Nollywood nostalgia. But I didn't get it first. Like you said, like you're supposed to be playing a young man, and just wasn't giving. Also, I think that I didn't really understand why his sister was angry at him. So I thought there was just something missing in the entire storytelling. I mean, I get it. It's not that difficult to hate on a rich guy, a rich person in the movie, I guess. But I didn't have enough to work with. I know that I didn't like the way, he would speak to Mercy Johnson's character or something, but I just didn't understand the beef between him and his family, and why he seemed to be a broke boy even though he was supposed to be from this rich family. So there were just a lot of things that I didn't really understand, and so I just had to go with the flow and just see where this is all going. I think, yeah, the point about them all being typecast was very true. Mercy Johnson's worked for me because at some point she was able to get in some laughs. I think she was able to make me laugh in some areas, so I liked it. But yeah, it was just really, really typecast, and yeah, well, I just accepted it because it's like, okay, yeah, well, this is what we have now. Then yeah, the fight scene was weird, but I mean, I've come to expect that now with most Nollywood movies that have fight scenes. So that just it didn't make too much sense to me. Overall, I think that they lost. I I thought they were trying not to do too much, but that's not true. I think they didn't do enough to sell the story across. So yes, it was the story of some missing passports, but in the end, I just had a lot more questions that weren't answered by the end of the movie. Yeah, overall, I just took the fact that it was supposed to be a comedy, and I took the laughs that I got out of it. But I I I don't think that it was well produced. I don't think that the story was very well told. And yeah, the part about them being in the UK, to be honest, um, I mean, I guess you needed that UK aspect to be able to sell the story of why it's a high stakes situation with a missing passport, but it didn't feel like they were in the UK. The mom and the sister were in the UK at all. It just they could have been anywhere, to be honest. And then what else? Yeah, I think that's about. I maybe I should have watched it again now that it's out on Netflix just to remember all the things that I didn't like about it, because there were a lot that I didn't like about it at the time, but I thought that they did well in some aspects, and so overall it was a positive experience for me. But yeah, I won't rehash all of the points that have already been made here today. That's it.
All right, no worries. Thanks so much for this. I even appreciate the perspective of someone who watched it a while ago. I thought we'll come to you in a bit. Except is it short? Except it's really short. Because the couple of people on Quick.
Oh no, it's super short. Like, you're so funny. So funny. I just wanted to say that I forgot to add that I hated that none of the conflicts mattered. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah, remember last week when we were talking about how if you don't have like a lot of stakes, you give us comedy. This is sort of like I mean, this is what comedies tend to do. Like you don't. I mean, like that's the thing. If the comedy doesn't work for you, there's obviously there's nowhere to go. But yeah, it's not abnormal for comedies not to have huge stakes. But yeah, all right, Ada Oweri. Ada, please.
Sorry, it wasn't that it didn't have huge stakes. So it had huge stakes. It's just that it didn't matter. That's what is annoying. Okay, bye.
Okay. Ada, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can hear you. All right. Well, you've missed the good, but if
I did not miss the good. I was here, but I did not want to say any good because I don't have any.
Okay.
And also I want to preface it by the fact that I didn't finish watching it, because I just couldn't finish it by force or by might. So my things that I didn't like, people mentioned sound. Yes, I know this is a reoccurring issue in Nollywood, but I just needed to mention it because it literally hit me from the first scene. I thought they would at least maybe try, and then maybe halfway through the movie they would get tired, and that's when the sound would drop off, or maybe they didn't pay full salary, so they would stop caring. But no, from the start of the movie, the sound was horrible. So I said, I need to mention this. As people said, the guy, Jim Ike, is not 30. It's not believable as a 30-year-old. This guy looks 47 with at least 2 teenagers. And I'm not sure why they try to force that. I feel like the story could have still worked anyway. But the fact that they tried to make us believe that, I think, was quite criminal on their part. As people mentioned, the UK, the bedroom decor was not absolutely believable that it was the UK. One of the giveaways is that the lack of lighting. That was obviously a very, 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 very Nigerian bedroom. And yeah, I think a little. It didn't even need to be a lot of set design, but just a little bit could have gone a long way. Or if not the UK, they could have literally just picked another similar country, perhaps in West Africa, that would have still made the same result. And again, with the accent, again, that was not needed. It's possible for people to be Nigerians and live in the UK and also have a Nigerian accent. That would have still worked, but for some reason they didn't like that idea, and they just thought it would be better to have like a weird wishy-washy UK accent. They need to explain that to us. Jim Ike proposing to his girlfriend, her declining. I just found this funny that she was confused that she was like, "Oh, are you breaking up with me?" I just find that a bit funny because I mean, you decline his proposal. What are you expecting? Obviously he's gonna go away. That wasn't necessarily a dislike, but I just thought that was a bit of a weird plot, of a weird like part of the story. My big dislike is that it's not funny. I think my expectation for the movie is that it's going to be comedic. You understand that from the first scene. It's kind of like from the club scene, and he doesn't have a lot of the money to pay to cover everything. So there is an understanding that this movie is going to be kind of like comedy. That type of comedy from that first scene is not a very ha-ha comedy. It's more like a situational comedy. We are in a situation that's a bit funny, maybe relatable. You've seen this happen in real life. That would have been fine if that's the comedy they wanted to go for, but I don't think that's what they wanted to go for. And the scene after that, or a couple scenes after, is Mercy Johnson at that meeting. So that meeting, there was a lot of back and forth, and in that type of scenes where there is back and forth, you expect it to be like funny. Someone says something funny, they reply something funny, a little bit, of anything funny, but nothing of that happened. I did not find neither the panelists nor Mercy Johnson's responses funny. There was no clapback moment, nothing to make us seem that this is a scene that should be characterized as funny. If we take it back to, for example, old Nollywood movie with a character like Sophia, he would have clapped back every single panelist all by himself with at least quite a few, I think, memorable lines, which I didn't find anything at all with this scene. And I think that's a shame. And maybe it's unfair because I think Osofia, that's like his bread and butter. But I think it's very important to cast funny people in funny roles. And that's because being funny is not just saying the line. I don't think people take the art of comedy as seriously as I do. It's not just saying the lines, it involves a lot of things. It involves the actual lines, it involves things like delivery, it involves timing, execution, your reaction to the other person saying things to you. It's a whole lot of things, and it's not just saying quote unquote funny stuff. And also, I think some of the latest, or maybe it's always been like this in Nollywood, is involving things like having a character and being Raz, which is often then having like a low cut dyed hair and baggy jeans with holes, and then them being loud, and then them speaking in pidgin mixed with their native language. That's the trifecta of comedy, apparently. I don't think that this three things make a funny movie. They can make a funny movie, but they do not by themselves make a funny movie. There has to be a lot more than that. And I think that's kind of using very, very lazy ways of trying to make me laugh. And I don't think that worked at all. I'm not sure of Mercy Johnson in a comedic role. I never thought she's been, I wouldn't characterize her as a funny person. I know people find her funny, but I would never associate her with being a funny actor or someone that I would see consistently in funny roles. So I think for that she was a little bit of a wrong casting choice. Also, like I think in a few scenes later after the meeting, she's at the drinking spot. She's retelling the whole story of what went on at the meeting, and she's like, and then I told them I'm going to run for was it councilwoman, and then she laughs, and then she says another thing, and then she laughs. I'm like, what are you laughing about? None of this thing you're saying is funny. And so that first scene from the meeting, where nothing funny was said, I think that set the whole scene for me of the movie, that I knew that I was not gonna laugh at all. So that was really disappointing. And yeah, the other thing I want to say is, and I don't mean this in a shady way, but why do established actors not know when to turn down a role? I feel like there's quite a few established actors. I feel they have enough social capital, enough money, enough brand recognition, enough of that to be able to look at a script and say, will this benefit me or further my career, or is it a fun role, or is it something that's going to be beneficial in some way to me? And if the answer is no, or maybe they thought it would, but I don't think it did. So I'm very concerned that we're in a position in Nollywood where we are, where actors, such established actors, are unable to like differentiate between like a project and one that's maybe not so good. Again, this is not shade. Maybe they really did think this is a really, really good movie. Then whatever, kudos to them. I'm going to give a pass to Judah Kosoko because he seems to always be taking just random roles in any and every movie. So I think he just likes doing that. So I'm just going to give him a pass. But every other actor that's quite established, I'm a bit surprised that they would decide to actually take this role. I can't believe that they are like roles are so sparse and they are maybe struggling so much financially. But anyway, that's their decision. I'm not gonna make that for them. But yeah, my big takeaway is like they need to do better with writing comedic stuff. The writing needs to actually be funny, and the execution needs to be funny. And this movie didn't have any good writing, comedic writing, or good comedic performances. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Ada. I don't know whether hopefully you're still on the speakers. Cynthia's going to speak in a bit. I do deeply disagree. I do think this movie is funny. And I think actually there's some good writing in here of some things where things were set up. There were points where between Mrs. C and I, we were discussing, we're not even actually sure sometimes what is ad-libbed and what has been written, because like some things were clearly set up for Messi to hit some punchlines. Which I'm just going to give you the example of during the I think they were when Messi was doing swallow, and Jamaica mentioned shit in a American accent, the way we usually say shit, and she took huge offense to that. And she was acting like she couldn't eat her food again. But that's set up punchline for her to go, hey, why you be talking at somebody? That's a very American thing to do. And yes, I like the way she reacted there. It is the way I think somebody in Nigeria would feel, like exaggerated, obviously for comedic effect. But I do think, but I obviously understand everybody's humor is not the same and blah, blah, blah. But I do think some jokes were very much written in there. But we can discuss that in a bit. Cynthia, please go on.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm on Ada's side. I do not think the movie was funny. I didn't laugh at any point. I don't think I smiled. Or I probably smiled once. When did I smile? I can't remember where I smiled. Oh, I think when they were talking about public office and it was like, how much did you sell my bag for? And she was like, oh, I'm a public something, 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 and it's that. I smiled. But I don't think the movie was funny. Anyways, there is nothing to criticize, and I only came because people were attacking Jamaica. I understand why they were attacking Jamaica. Okay, I understand that you can't believe he's 30 years old and other stuff. But for someone that from the beginning of the movie, like Vanessa said, when she saw the club scene and those guys acting, and she already knew that, oh, this movie was going to go down. I was like, yes, this movie was going to go down. But I saw Jim Hike and I admire him. And I was like, yes. So this is the face that is going to keep me throughout the movie. So when people were coming for Jim Hike, I was like, guys, calm down. For some of us, whether it was 30 years old or it was 40 years old or it was 50 or it was 60 or it was 70 years old, his face and his beauty was what kept us throughout the movie to the ending. And if I was to summarize my recommendation, I would say watch the movie on mute just to admire Jim Hike's sexiness. Okay, so I was a bit triggered with the whole he should not be playing this role. Okay, if he did not play the role and they put another person there, I would have not watched. I would have stopped the movie from the beginning. So you see, yeah, so I stopped the movie from the beginning. So yeah, I'm just here to like defend Jemike. Please, 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 please. His beauty was needed in this movie for me to like continue it and all. Yeah, but in general, I think I liked a bit of Mighty and Tobe scenes. I don't know. I kind of should I say I saw friendship? I don't know, but I kind of like a bit of Mighty and Tobe scenes together. I liked when, or maybe I liked Tobe playing Tamara role. I just feel that Emeka shines in bad movies, well, except Shouting Town, anyways. But yeah, I kind of like Mike T and Tobe scenes. And also when the whole stuff was happening, and because he has played this Tamara role, and we know he talks slowly, and he was trying to like hint them that he knows where the passport is, and he was talking slowly and everything. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll buy this. It's also makes sense that throughout the scenes we didn't see the passport in the bag because Tobe gave us that hint. Um, like everyone has said, there's really nothing like I can't pick anything because the whole movie lacked consistency. Over from like yeah, from the club scene, it does not have money. It's broke. His guys are broke too. His babe was calm, collected. She paid for the bills. Then they went home. She proposed, and suddenly that same person that was calm, paid for the bills of a broke man, is angry because of a type of ring. I mean, like I don't know. I just felt like what's going on here? Like it does not make sense with this character. So like Otas has said, the whole wealth thing. So he went back. He's broke. He could not pay for the bills. He paid for his flights because it doesn't seem like his sister was going to give him any money, or maybe his sister paid for his flight. Or maybe because he has a UK passport, he can fly back without paying for flight. Then he's owing his uncle money because his uncle needs money. And throughout the whole movie, we saw his uncle giving out money. And I don't know, like, there's really nothing to pick out. There's really nothing to criticize because the whole movie lacked consistency. You couldn't follow anything. I was thrown out a lot, but thankfully for Jamaica's space, okay, 30 years, 40 years, that's you people's problem. Thankfully for Jamaica's space for like putting me through the movie. I got tired with everyone's acting. I felt they were all caricatures, and it's crazy because I watched the caricature movie Love Again the night before, and Celine Dion was a caricature, Priyanka Chopra was a caricature, but I was able to follow, and I liked the whole acting, but yeah, everyone was just a caricature of themselves, and it was boring, no consistency, nothing to hold back. The whole conflict was okay. I don't know. I just felt the movie would have ended in 10 minutes because the whole this policeman, okay, we have found who wants, he asked for 50K, I'll go and withdraw 50K. I mean, if you have just called the police, you have your proof there. End the movie. Like, there was really nothing solid to hold the movie except Jamaica's face for me. Okay, and that's why I requested that you guys should leave Jamaica alone. Is his choice. He chose to play a 30-year-old man. Whatever. He chose to play a 30-year-old man. The whole movie has no strong pillar. There's nothing is standing on. Everyone was a caricature. It lacked consistency. The conflict was not conflicting. Everything would have ended in 10 minutes, but this man's beauty kept me true. And please, take it easy on him. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Cynthia. Mrs. C.
Okay. Sorry, Cynthia, but no, I'm not allowing my uncle pass for a 30-year-old man.
Cynthia literally came up for this purpose. Let her have the last word. Be a gracious host.
She's not even cute, so I don't even know where we're going from here.
Oh my God.
I've just been questioning everybody's taste on
My
this
sister
call.
did not see that me. I
Mr.
kept
C
quiet.
thinks this is funny.
Hey,
Cynthia thinks Jamaica is cute.
please, I don't think you should join this conversation.
Beauty is subjective. It's in the eyes of the beholder.
Yes, okay.
If Cynthia says Jamaica is sexy, then Jamaica is sexy.
True. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry,
and
but
people like Zubi too.
I don't know where when it was very early on they mentioned that he was 30 years old, right? Because we're at the opening club scene, and I'm like, okay, these people are talking in their normal voices in a club, you know, even doing a bit of whispering and muttering under their breath in a club with loud music. Cool, no problem. Part of my bads. Then who mentioned he was 30? Was that the club they mentioned he was 30?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's what? 30. And every time they called him a young man in this film, it sent me. Every time they called him young, I was like, no, this is my uncle. Let's not do this, but we did it. But all I'm saying is, if they should did this like 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, him and Messi would have been the right ages. So timing, it was a problem of timing. But yeah, no, his age was absolutely ridiculous. And it didn't stop my enjoyment of the film, but it took me out every time they mentioned he was young or he did a young thing or tried to do a young thing. His financial condition as well. That was a bit of a problem for me because every time, it was when
he on this financial condition thing because
baby, you didn't have me going. With which money? How come? With which money? How come?
That's legit how people who are rich speak. The people who are rich but blow their money all of the time.
Right? Because I feel like I need to correct somebody. He did not think it was reasonable to spend 4 million in the club. It was his boys that did him dirty. and ordered Ace of Spades without consulting him, and he was like, "How are we gonna pay for this thing?" So it wasn't him. I absolved my G and Unc from that. From that poor financial decision. It was when what was it?
Also, he didn't spend $4 million. It's his girlfriend.
His girlfriend did, yeah, exactly. He didn't spend $4 million. His girlfriend did.
His ex.
Man, his audacity to be proposing with £10 in his account. But that's beside the point. But the financial thing did, I was like, wait, which money? Because but I decided to assume that like his sister had sent him money after Unc told her that no, for realsies, he did lose his passport. He's not just, faffing about. And she's like, okay, let me wire him some money. And then immediately he's telling this babe that I will organize passport.
I don't think he's changed. I guess to the drama.
Said, I'll organize passport for you. Take 2 weeks, visa 3 weeks. I was like, I've just sent you money. And I was like, also, if you can run passport so quickly, why have we been going through all this adventure for your passport? But cool, that was at the point. But his financial situation was looking funny. Yes, I would like Latif to just, I don't know. I want better for him. I want better for Latif. Emeka is criminally underused in Nollywood. Yes. No.
Is this your bad?
Yes, my bad now. Okay. The use of Emeka is criminal. Using better.
So you think he wasn't used well in this film?
It's just he's getting these small roles. I'm like, I don't know, maybe let's try him as the American, right? Let's try him as the young American that came from the abroad. No?
So you didn't like him in this film? I'm just
no. I liked him in this film. I thought he did a good job in this film. It's just
you give somebody wrong impressions as well. And the bad, and we're talking about passports. So
okay,
yeah, I'm clarifying for everybody else.
You give him better roles. What else? Yes, I agree that Zubi is getting typecast. It's fun, but it's only so many times it can be fun. At some point, it's like I get something in someone's kind of signature, but I feel like they could cast him as a romantic lead and he would say you go kole woto because they feel like he has to say it. What else did I like? See, this film had a lot of problems, but it did not stop me from enjoying it. It had a lot of problems, but I had a fun time. That's my bad. I know to reason them. All my questions are these things. No. I really know to reason them. I was like, I thought the financial situation was. I'm like, but I don't care, right? There's like they're whispering in the club, right? They're whispering in the club. I'm like, that's dumb. Don't do that. Whatever.
I think there's like one Nigerian movie that doesn't do that.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh, his sister's acting was atrocious. And then when the mom spoke, I was like, no, stop, go back to sleep. I was like, don't do that, don't speak. Oh yes, the British doctor. Now I know that we're poor. That's why NHS don't do home service for us. Right? That's why we don't get home service and we have to call for appointment like peasants and wait 3 months. So, they're rich. I guess their private doctors could come to the house and come to the room. And even though they called him that it's urgent, mom has been rushed to the hospital, but she's in the house. And the doctor came home. And it's urgent, but the doctor's like, just take your meds and rest. You'll be fine. No. He said, take your drugs. The doctor said, take your drugs. I'm going to call that out as a bad because no. I know to reason these things, right? But it's like that was funny for me and not in the way they intended, because it made me think of Nigerian scammers that don't forget to or don't know that we have Nigerian coded words for stuff that don't translate to, non-Nigerians.
I can't believe you mentioned it in passports.
Baby, when I tell you there were things that are no reason you say I'm copying out. Now I'm saying the things you are saying you can't believe I'm mentioning. This one place make it foam.
Hurry up and finish.
Stressing me. It had its problems. It was all right. I sure enjoyed myself. Are you happy? I'm done.
Just say bad stuff. All right. Okay. Let me actually say some bad stuff. Yeah, she already stole some of the supporting characters, the sisters and the mother. I don't think did well. I don't. Some people said they like Jide Kosoko. I wasn't a big fan of Jide Kosoko's acting. He just kept on fumbling his lines too many times. I could do with some of the funny music. Film was doing enough for me. Didn't need the staccato funny music. Putting here don't steal scores. I think it took the score from the Book of Eli, if I'm remembering this correctly. I didn't put the score that it took from, but it took a score. Yeah, don't do that. Jim Ike's appearance. I know everybody's mentioned the 30 plus, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about Jim Ike, for me, the character as I see it is a character that has been written to be somebody who is spoiled and maybe living a life that he should not be living, right? Living beyond his means. So, but Jim Ike looks like his appearance kind of looks a little more closer to what is responsible. I would have liked him a bit more costumed up, something. He does look like Jim Ike in most of the shots. I just wanted facial hair with a cut. I felt like somebody who was a bit more aloof should have had a fitting that would have matched this better. What else? And yeah, I mentioned some of them, that third act where the when Zuby runs away and people are like, yeah, you are now a cheerleader or that kind of thing. That did feel a little rushed, and we have to tie this up in a pretty bow really quick. Yeah, but yeah, that's about it for me for the bad. But in terms of what I feel the film set out to be, I felt like the film set out to be a comedy, and that wasn't, a lot of these parts aren't too important. So even the people who were kind of bad, except Jide Kosoko. Jide Kosoko is the person I genuinely think for me could have done with just a better performance, because he was a main part of the film. But the surrounding characters, some of the supporting characters, the mother, sister, the doctor, all of those people in the UK, they did not work for me. But I do think the comedy in general just worked. All right, okay. Does anybody want to do Pushback? All right, this is probably why I shouldn't have been interrupting Mrs. C, but Pushback. So the thing I do kind of want to say, I guess, I can't tell you what to find funny and what not to find funny. But that this is lazy, I don't think is fair, because I do think there are jokes written into this. And I do think that Mercy Johnson, she's one of the, a lot of times, we have movies where you can see they've written things and, they've cast somebody, but the way they're speaking to the person they cast, the words that come out of people's characters' mouths doesn't reflect the person they're talking to. There rarely ever comment about, oh, look at the way you're this tall or you're this short. Oh, I actually forgot to mention that Emeka's stuttering, I don't think was used as a comedy for comedy, except once when I think Mercy Johnson was making fun of him, which she was the only person who did it, and I thought that was kind of in character, and I didn't mind it. Okay, but what was I saying? Anyway, but like I did think there were jokes that were written, set up punchline, and it was really well woven for the most part with Mercy Johnson's thing. I still can't believe that people don't think what Mercy Johnson does, where she can sometimes is being funny and dramatic at the same time. I remember when she was corrected. Jamike called insulted her in some way, like I don't know whether he called her mad or something, and she's giving this dramatic performance of like she's just trying, she's just trying to get to a place like, at least I'm better than you. She said that you don't have respect, you don't have sense. I don't know, like there's so many great lines, like, and Mercy Johnson for me is just a natural at this. So like, if people don't like her, that's there's nothing we can pass there. But aside that, if no, is there anything anybody else wanted to say before we head into summaries? All right, go on, Nada.
Pushback to your pushback. No, it's not funny. What I mentioned before, I do think, yeah, there are some I guess back and forth that makes sense, that could have or could maybe have been written in. But as I mentioned, there's also something about delivery time and all that good stuff. Yeah, I remember there was actually something that she said in that scene in the meeting that I actually thought, that's actually quite a bit, not quite, let's not exaggerate. That's actually a funny line, but I did not laugh. And that's because she does not have good comedic delivery. And I thought if she had done that in a different way, or maybe, I don't know, the scene was directed in a different way, I would have actually laughed. So the actual line was funny, delivery absolutely zero. So no, I did not think he was actually funny. But it's fine if other people did. I actually did look at the trailer on social media, and I saw a lot of people thinking that the trailer or whatever, a certain scene was very, very funny. It was getting a good reception. So I'm thinking maybe it's just me that doesn't find it funny. I have different sense of humor. I don't know. But yeah, it's funny if other people think it's funny. I don't think it is. And I think delivery is as important as the actual lines. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks. Actually, one of the things I think is even important in playing these characters, and I think Mercy Johnson does, is she plays it straight in terms of she's not pulling particularly funny faces, or it's either you find the words that it's almost like a witty uncle, witty auntie, witty person, right? Like either you find the words that are coming out of her mouth funny, or you don't. But yeah, I don't know what the line was, but yes, comedy is you can't argue what somebody finds funny and what they don't find funny. So I understand. I'm given what a lot of people on Twitter and certainly in our community have said. You're definitely not in we're the outliners for the most part of this. So yeah, that's fine. That's I'm happy to be an outliner as long as we come out here, and I hope this stands allows people in the future to be able to come out here and go, yeah, I hear what everybody else is saying, but like, yeah, I don't agree with everybody else on here. Anyway, if nothing else, Passports has done hopefully served this purpose. But yeah, all right. Anything else anybody want to say, or shall we do our summaries? All right, Vanessa, do you want to do your summary?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the film don't have head and tail. If you want to watch it, go right ahead, Shugon. Just be prepared for a bunch of emptiness, um, barely covered up, barely well executed humor. I guess if that's your humor, then you will enjoy it. And a lot of typecasting. Yeah, it just wasn't it at all.
All right. I think it's I can do this name. To me, I think it's you. Timmy, please give us your summary.
Passport had the potential to eat, but it didn't eat.
All right, thanks. Otas?
Would not recommend it. Would not watch it again. Did not like it. Every single person who acted in that movie, I think this was their poorest performance. So, yeah. I'm done.
Oh, yeah. I was on. Sorry, I was still on mute. Ada, please go on.
Yeah, summary is I wouldn't recommend it. I've been off work, so it's not like I have other things to do. But even in my idleness, I don't think that was a good time well spent, and I didn't even finish it. I think someone mentioned it's kind of like old Nollywood humor. I think it's if you took old Nollywood and made it even worse somehow, because I do still find myself sometimes occasionally laughing at old Nollywood comedy. So this has somehow made it worse. I think comedy needs to be a lot more structured in Nollywood, not just make use of easier, cheaper tactics. Use a lot more of comedic people in comedy roles, a lot more comedic writing, a lot more emphasis on the delivery of that. I also try not to take roles that will disgrace your career if you're established. But if you're new and up and coming, feel free to take roles like this. But yeah, would not recommend it. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that. And Omar, did you?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I would not recommend this movie, but if you eventually get to see it, you can just be doing something else and be watching. Like you, I don't know, it's something you can just literally look away, and it would be playing in the background. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Cynthia.
Oh yeah, so in summary, this is another movie that Emeka has shown that it can play or it can act. Unfortunately, it's always in background, like Prophetess and Far From Home. So it was like the only person that I was interested in or that I liked his acting. I've outgrown Ras comedy. I don't know how other people feel. Probably they still like it. I felt everyone was a caricature of themselves. They were not real people. The conflicts were not conflicting. There was nothing solid to stand by. But if you like Jim Ike, okay, you can watch it on mute and you will not hear when he says he's 30 years old. Neither will you hear Onk. And yeah, that's the only recommendation I can give.
All right, Mrs. C.
I had a really good time watching this, and I would recommend it, but from what I have learned based on the responses, it's not for everyone. So I will recommend it with I don't even know what caveats to use really. I'm just gonna be like, I liked it, and if you don't like it, whoops.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess I enjoyed it as well. I also have to say, like the writing in this is top three of what we've had this year in Nollywood on Film Club easily. There's which is probably not a good thing in general, But I did enjoy this. I understand the comedy is apparently not for everyone. I wouldn't have, honestly, if you didn't if somebody told me to guess, I wouldn't have guessed that. So many people wouldn't have loved it. I imagine, I know it's like kind of in the brash area, but I absolutely liked it. And I say that as someone who isn't a big fan of a lot of the loud comedic performances in Nollywood out there. I just think Mercy Johnson, maybe it's because she's been doing this for a while, she just has such charisma in this performance for me anyway. And I think the structure was tight and it had good cinematography. Structure was decent. Tight is strong. The structure was decent and it did what it set out to do for the most part for me, which is it made me laugh. But yeah, all right. Thanks everyone for this interesting conversation. I wish everyone needs to go through one of these spaces where you're the only one who you're the one who has a different opinion from everybody else on the film club. It's a very interesting position to be in, but it's recommended because it's good for the soul long term. All right. Okay, but next week we do a movie that a lot of people seem to like and a lot of people seem to engage in. I give you a heads up. I watched this film, sister. I saw it in the cinema actually, premiere. I don't remember a lot of it, but I don't have very positive memories from it. So I guess it's going to be 2 weeks. You guys are not going to like Mr. C on Nollywood Film Club. But we are back next week, Sunday, regardless. We'll see. Maybe on the second watching, my view changes. Unlikely. All right. But until then, I guess we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed listening and would like to join live, just follow us on Twitter at Iroko Critic. And join us every Sunday, 6 p.m. West African time on our spaces.